BBC Radio 1 and 1Extra's Hackney Academy.
Hi, my name is Charlene White and I'm a newsreader and journalist for ITV News and ITV London. And my top tips for journalism success are: tip number 1, make sure it's something that you really want to do, because your passion will shine and people will see that. If you're passionate about telling people stories, if you're passionate about being a journalist, then above all else, people will see that and want to employ you and want to further your career. Tip number 2. My second top tip for success is to identify a mentor. That can be within an organisation that you hope to work for in the future, or ideally in an organisation that you're working in already. Because no matter what stage you are in your career, you will always want to ask for advice, whether you should be going for a certain job, what direction you should be going in. And never underestimate the value of having a mentor, but it's always good to have a shoulder, even sometimes to cry on, but mostly just to ask for advice. Tip number 3. My third top tip for success is going to sound a little bit cheesy, but think outside of the box. For instance, if you're wanting to become a journalist, then don't just think about working in journalism within London. Cast your net quite wide. Look to the north, look to the south, look outside of the UK, for instance, because every little helps. I know it sounds a bit like an advert, but it is very true. A lot of people do restrict themselves by thinking the only way that they can get ahead is by working in London. Not true at all. Most organisations will respect you a lot more if you do have a job outside of London and you've kind of done the hard work, you've done the big stories, but you've done it outside of the capital. They will respect you far more if you do that. Tip number 4. May sound a little bit obvious, but just be nice to people. You'd be surprised just how small the media industry actually is. And if you've got a reputation for being someone that's not easy to work with, someone that doesn't like taking direction, and someone that's not awfully creative, someone won't want to work with you. You want to be known as a person that's always on hand to help, always very creative, very easy to work with, works well within groups, works well within a team. Because, you know, one person you work with 1 year, 5 years later could be offering you your dream job. But if they didn't like you when they've met you the first time round, they're not going to want to work with you again. So make sure that you always think of every person you meet in this industry as someone that could potentially help you in the future. And make sure you keep in touch with people as well. Tip number 5, never switch off. Always think that no matter where you are, be it a gig, covering a gig for instance, or if you're outside court covering a story, or if you're following a journalist around, if you're doing work experience, always be switched on. And that's from making sure that you're always looking presentable. So guys, make sure that you're wearing a suit and a tie. If that's what the style of dress is within the office that you're working in, adapt that style of dress. Ladies, don't walk around in trainers if it's not the kind of office that wears trainers. Always look as if you mean business, always look as if you're switched on, you're ready for anything. Because it's not unheard of that, especially if you want to get into TV news, that suddenly there's a breaking story somewhere in the region and you're the only person that's around. If you're dressed to go and they think you're capable, they will send you. But if you're walking around in jeans, trainers and a t-shirt and look about 12, it's unlikely that they'll use you. So always make sure you're switched on in every single opportunity, because you never know when your ideal job will come along.